Welcome to Bled Talk, where language barriers are shattered and aspirations take flight. I'm your host, Samuel Bledsoe, here to ignite your English journey. Each week, join us for captivating conversations between native speakers, unraveling the secrets of vocabulary and expressions through authentic stories and natural dialogue. Let's empower your language skills and embrace the power of communication. Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome everybody to Bled Talk. Today we are back with Austin once again, and today we're going to talk about something a little different. Usually our conversation is more focused on just meeting the other person, but since we've had so many talks with Austin anyway, I think that it's perfectly fine for us to talk about something different. You guys already know, and we're going to talk a little bit about a trip that we took when we were in high school, actually. So what happened was we were getting ready to graduate. We were 18, I think, I remember, yeah. And Austin and one of our friends, Ryan, another friend, Logan, and me, we were all in the same class. It was Mr. McEvely, right? We were in his class.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, it was sci-fi and fantasy. That was an interesting class. And we just had a thought. We were like, hey, let's go to New York. Let's do a trip to New York after school is over. Let's plan it and get it started. And from there we just kind of decided to move forward with it. Do you remember what everybody's designations were? I know we kind of tried to divide everything up.
Find stuff to do, find hotels, find places to eat.
Right.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, I know that I dedicated a lot of time to planning it and making sure that it all worked out. And we ended up not just going to New York, we went to Washington and then we went to New York. No, actually, take that back. We went to Washington, then we went to Philadelphia, then we went to New York, then we went to Boston. After Boston, did we go to Cooperstown after Boston?
Yeah, straight to Cooperstown.
Yeah, we went straight to Cooperstown, and then after, is it Cooperstown or is it Coopersville? I think it's Cooperstown, right?
Cooperstown. It's Cooperstown.
Yeah, you're the baseball guy, so you know. We went to Cooperstown, and then after Cooperstown, we went to a place that I wanted to go to for church. It was called Palmyra. And then after that, we went to Niagara Falls. Well, actually, we went to bed, and then we went to Niagara Falls. And then from Niagara Falls, we went to, where did we go? We went to...
We had lunch. We had lunch in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then we went to Cleveland.
Went to Cleveland, Ohio.
And I think we were supposed to stay in Columbus for the night, but we were like, well, it's only like an extra 2 or 3 hours if we just send it home. So,
well, actually, what happened, I remember now, because when we were in Syracuse, in New York, we went to the hotel, and so it turns out, right, when you're 18, there's a lot of hotels that don't accept you. They just accept 21-year-olds. And I called this hotel to make sure that we could check in at 18. And they said yes. What they failed to mention is that you can check in when you're 18, but you have to have somebody with you who's 21. And so we were pretty bummed and irritated, but the guy was nice and he let us stay. And we thought about it. We were like, okay, let's call the other hotel. Let's see if that's the case. And we did. And that was the same thing. They weren't gonna accept us. And so we're like, all right, let's just drive straight home, straight through the whole way. And it was super long from Cleveland to St. Louis, because we were in Cleveland, not in the morning, we were in Cleveland in the afternoon. And I think we left and went back to St. Louis.
We had dinner in Columbus. And then
did we?
We had Wendy's in Columbus.
Oh, I do remember. Yeah, we did. We did not go fancy on food at all. It was like straight fast food the whole time,
I was
except
just
in New York, in Philadelphia, and those were both different. Not New York, yeah, in New York City. But yeah, cool. So, Austin, do you remember the first day? Do you remember what we did?
I remember at some point we went to Burger King and we thought about it and planned things. I think some capacity we asked her parents if they were cool with it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. Well, I remember the planning part. That was
Oh,
pretty much that.
the
But the
first
first
day of
day,
like,
the first day of
oh,
the trip, do you remember that first initial? No.
I woke up groggy in Ryan's basement with no blanket, probably under some cushions. And then we hopped in Ryan's car, and bright and early in the morning we went to Mount Vernon. We had breakfast in Mount Vernon, and then we carried on eastward.
Did we have breakfast at McDonald's? Was that the?
We might have went to Hardee's.
Was it Hardee's? Oh yeah, it was Hardee's. I do remember. But yeah, no, and it was the whole day. The whole day was
Driving.
traveling, right? It was and it was fun. Well, no, it wasn't. No, it was fun, but it was interesting because nobody wanted to sit in the front. Nobody wanted to sit in the front next to Ryan because how he drove and just how he wouldn't let anybody drive. He wouldn't let anybody else drive during the whole trip. The whole time there was nobody letting him drive. Well, he wouldn't let anybody else take the wheel, and so it was.
I did take the wheel one time.
That was to park. You know, that was
The
when
parallel
that was
park.
when we were in Philly. Yeah. But do you remember, did we stayed in Virginia, right? Because that was close to,
Maryland.
didn't we stay in Maryland?
We drove down. I took 64 all the way. We ate I think we had Steak and Shake somewhere around like Louisville or Lexington.
Yeah, we did have Steak and Shake. So we were, if you look at it, if you look at the map, right,
There's your highway. There's your answers.
there's your major, there's the major highway. Did we take this one? Was this it?
Yep.
Yeah, so we left here, we went this way, and we went right below all of the big cities. At one time, I remember us talking about trying to go down into Nashville or something just to get another state in, but I think it was quickly thrown to the side because it was a lot of driving. But I think we went through. Did we go through here first?
Yeah. Then we went into West Virginia just like that and stayed up in West Virginia.
Did we stay up in West Virginia and then come down, or?
So you see the skinny part of Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
So we came up this way, is what you're saying. And we stayed, I think we stayed somewhere around right here. And then that was the whole day. I think we had Pizza Hut that night. We had ordered. Did we order pizza, or did somebody go and get pizza?
Ryan and I went and got pizza.
I remember because I was tired and I was very stressed.
And it was raining and the roads were very weird.
I mean, the roads weren't weird. It was Ryan's car was without good tread, so the tires were bald, and we would slide anywhere that we went, really. So
it was wet.
Yeah, it was wet, and you could slide from left to right, no problem. But yeah, I think you guys went to go to Pizza Hut, and that was the night that Luke discovered that we went to New York without him. I remember that because one of his friends started sending a bunch of Snapchats to me telling me how terrible of a person I was because I didn't invite and I didn't even talk about it the whole time. And I didn't really feel bad. I just blocked her and I continued on with my night. But yeah, we woke up early that next morning and we went straight to DC. Do you remember what time we got up that day?
Early, the sun was rising.
Yeah, I think we got up before the sun was rising. Or did we get up think it was like
The sun was rising, and then it was early in the morning. That's all I
yeah,
remember.
yeah. And then we went to DC, and we saw all of the like the monuments and things. I think that was the cool part. We saw the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, Vietnam War Monument, the World War II. Yeah, I think we saw all of those ones that were close, and then we went over to Arlington. Um, and Arlington it's pretty close to Washington D.C. I think if you look at it, it's like right on the other side. Here's Washington D.C. and then Arlington National Cemetery is like right. It's like right around here somewhere. There it is.
Yep, that
Right.
little green.
And there's a little green spot. And that was really cool to look at. We did go to the White House and look at the White House as well. So it was cool because we were able to do all that within the morning. And then after that, we went to Baltimore, and we didn't do anything in Baltimore, I don't think, but we
We were going to. We
yeah, I
talked
think
about it.
we talked about going to visit like Edgar Allan Poe's house or something like that. We were talking about Edgar Allan Poe, but I think I remember because of Ryan's tires, we were kind of in a rush to get somewhere to change those. So the second day still, we're going through Washington, going through Baltimore, and that's when we go to Philadelphia. And while we're in Philadelphia, we decide to eat a chili cheesesteak. And for those of you who don't know, not a chili, sorry, a Philly cheesesteak. For those of you who don't know what a Philly cheesesteak is, it is amazing, delicious, lots of meat and cheese, and it's like, I don't know, it's amazing, and I think everybody should eat at least 4 or 5 in their lifetime or more. But
At least.
yeah, and it was fun walking to Philadelphia. It's a lot more dangerous than we thought it was. I remember that. Like, I don't remember knowing anything about any of the cities that we went to, but then we got to some places and it was a little
Yeah, I had a friend who grew up in Philadelphia, and I was telling him about the trip whenever after the fact. And I was like, yeah, we went to South Philadelphia to go to the 2 cheesesteak places. We walked like a mile and a half. And he's like, you walked a mile and a half in South Philadelphia? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, are you crazy? I was like, it's daytime.
right. The sun was out. It's okay. No one was gonna do anything bad.
There was a Porsche parked on the street. It was fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It was perfect. Well, it's like St. Louis. A lot of people go to St. Louis and they don't think anything of it. But those of us who live close, we tend to have a different ideas, different view of what it looks like. But yeah, so we had lunch in Philadelphia at the cheesesteak places, and I don't even remember which one was better than the other. Honestly, I think they were both good, but
I liked them both. I ate them both.
yeah, that's what. But they weren't good enough to be like, I was like, there wasn't one that was like significantly better than the other. I think from what I remember we talked about how there was one that like the bread was better, and then the other one like the meat was better or something, and that was about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else. I know we went to go to the Liberty. Did we go to the Liberty Bell?
We tried to. We wanted to go see it, and then it was like a $40 admission into a museum.
Yeah, we were like, no. But we went by it. We walked past
They
it.
they had a window that you could see right into the museum and see the bells right there. Is basically the same thing.
Yeah. So we went there. I remember we went to I don't know where else we went. I think it was just that, but that was most of what we
Yeah, because that's where I had to parallel park because Ryan couldn't, and you were yelling at him how to do it, and he wasn't. And so and then he's just like, Austin, you drive the car.
Well, I'm not gonna say that it was just me. I think we were all trying to tell Ryan how to parallel park, and he just wouldn't do it. He was too scared of everything, and so we just kind of couldn't do anything about it. But But it was a good time. And then after that, I think somewhere in New Jersey, I do remember this. We decided to get all of the tires changed and paid for. Um, and that was dumb because that was where the New Jersey accent kind of came in, where Ryan said he talked to the lady in the dealership, and she said it was funny, but we went there, and I don't remember. I think it was like 2 or 3 hours.
It was a long time.
It was a long time. Like they had a lot of cars they were going through, and but I guess we got it done. I mean, I think we had ice cream and played cards.
We
That
played
was the
cards.
whole.
I remember that.
That was the whole afternoon. We were supposed to get to New York early and be able to relax, but we ended up getting there. We didn't get there too late, but that was
Probably like 8 o'clock by the time we wandered
I know. Well, I know that
upstairs.
it was 8 o'clock by the time we wandered, but it was still light outside when we got there, so it was probably like 6:30 or 7. But we got into New York. It was really cool to kind of see the skyline come out of the clouds. I do remember seeing New York for the first time, and I thought it was fun. I don't like big cities. I don't like to live in them, but I do enjoy seeing them and kind of going through the experience of a small town man in a big city place. It's interesting. And then we got there, and you and Logan and Ryan all gave New York a good welcome. I'll leave it at that. But
I don't even remember.
do you not remember what you guys did?
No.
All right. I don't want to get you fired from any future jobs, but it's okay. No one's gonna watch it. Do you not remember you guys mooned? You guys mooned New York from
Oh,
our
that's hilarious.
from our hotel rooms.
Oh,
It
that's
was you, Logan, and like everybody did it, and I didn't do it because I was still the goody two shoes, like dad of the group. But it was fun. I mean, it was cool. We stayed right in the middle of Manhattan, like pretty close to Harlem, actually.
92nd Street. That's all I
Yeah,
remember.
it was like right here.
The
I
Upper East
remember.
Side.
No, we stayed on this side. It was like, yeah, the Upper East Side, this area. The one thing that I do regret not doing is going to Central Park. I it was really cool everything that we did, but like I think
We went to Central Park.
we
Walked
walked
through
by
it
it. We,
at night,
that's true. We did go through it.
which is apparently also something you're not supposed to do.
Yeah. We didn't know a lot of rules, but that's okay. But being in New York was fun because then we were able to go to, you know, I think the first night we went to Times Square. That was the first thing we did. Where is Times Square? Is it like over here in Lower Manhattan?
above the Empire State Building.
Is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's right here. There you go. So yeah, we went to Times Square, and I remember eating McDonald's there because we were just blown away that there was a 2-story McDonald's. And here in Brazil, I've come to find out that that's very normal. Like every McDonald's here is, not everyone, but most of them are 2 stories. And so I think that's just like a really big city kind of thing because it's cool because you can put the kitchen and everybody else on bottom, and then you can put everybody else on top in the dining room. So it's a good way to control things, and everything was expensive. And that was a long time ago when they had the. Do you remember the 2 for $5 deal, like with Big Macs and things like that?
Oh yeah,
They didn't have that. They didn't have all of their stuff was like their 2 for $5 was like 2 McChickens for $5, or it was everything that was super crazy, and it was like, this is insane. I
you bought
remember,
a bottle of water there. I
yeah,
think they had like 3 bottles left that were or 2 in the cooler, and then 1 was frozen. And the guy was like, "You want this frozen one?" I'm like, "Well, sure." It was like $5.
it was insane, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was expensive, because we were all 18 and nobody had like I said, I mean, we all had jobs, but none of them were like high paying jobs that we can, just waste money on everything. I do remember we went to Subway a lot because Subway was one of the few restaurants that the price didn't change, and so you got more bang for your buck,
And we
basically.
had there's a pizza place like 2-3 blocks away. We had a couple times.
Oh yeah, that's true. I do remember getting pizza at the hotel. That one was pretty good. Um, do you remember what we did the second day? Was that the day that we went to Little Italy? And
I
um,
think so.
I think we went to Little Italy, Chinatown. I think that was also the day that we went we went and looked at the Statue of Liberty from a distance over here in Battery Park. And we walked through the financial district and
Wall
we
Street.
took a picture of the bridge. And
Yeah.
we went to Ground Zero as well and kind of did everything. It was funny because New York can be really expensive, but we just like said no to everything that was everything that cost money. We were like, we can look at it from outside. That's fine. And well, I mean, and I always tell people like I hear that the Statue of Liberty is cool, but like one day if I have a lot of money, then sure, I'll go back. And I mean, I have to go back because my wife is from Brazil and New York is like the iconic American place to be. So I'll go back, but it'll be different. And then I also remember we went to a museum as well. I just don't remember where it was, but there was
the aircraft carrier.
Yeah, the aircraft carrier.
That should be on the west side of Manhattan Island on the Hudson River.
Is it on the west side? I'm pretty sure it was over on the east, but I'm wrong probably because it's been a long time. No, there's just golf and volleyball. I know. All I know is it might have been.
It was over in Hell's Kitchen, I think.
Yeah, I think did we walk by the one place with like Gordon Ramsay's restaurant as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did that. We walked by Trump Tower. We walked by a lot of things. I like to say the best sentence to summarize New York was that we walked. Because
we did a lot of walks.
It was crazy. And I do remember the third day we went to Long Island. That was really cool. Forget where Long Island is. I think it's right here. Because this is we went to Long Island, and that is where we had the hot dogs. Nathan's, right? Nathan's dogs.
Coney Island.
Oh yeah, sorry, it was Coney Island. Long Island's over here. But yeah, we went to Coney Island and had hot dogs. We had Nathan's hot dogs, which were great. They're amazing. And really, honestly, like I've been to the other little restaurants that they have in airports and things like that, and it's not the same as the first original place. And so it's a lot more different. But we're out of time for this part of the episode, and so we'll talk about the rest of the trip on the next podcast. And everybody have a good week, have a good night or a good day wherever you are. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you next time. See you. Bye. Thank you for listening to Bled Talk. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us for more content. We are on all of the popular podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and we're even on YouTube. Don't forget to send in your questions and your suggestions. Thank you once again, and have a great day.